drums came in. They look a little different, but all the specs are the same. The cooling fins back here aren't quite as prevalent. Obviously, there's paint on my hand. These aren't quite as prevalent as the old drums, but shouldn't be a deal breaker or an issue. All the measurements that matter are the same. All that is done. Shocks are in. The back end is pretty much done, minus bolting the wheels on, which we'll get to. But yeah, so those are on, ready to go. I've still got to plumb the front brake lines, which is hopefully on the agenda tonight. It's either that or take the trans out. I haven't decided which one I want to do. That's going to cause more fun, but we're going to figure that out here in a minute. All right, wheels are on the rear. We're going to put the missing shock that's up front on. I just hadn't had a chance to get to it. We're going to bolt that on, set it down, see what it looks like. I'm thinking I can go a lot bigger than a 215, 7015 back here. Probably at least a 235, maybe even a 245. We'll see though. I've got plenty of room side to side, but not, well, height wise, side to side is probably gonna be about perfect unless I come more inboard with the offset. But wheels are on the back. She lines up good in the wheel well. We're gonna set her down after we bolt this last shock on, see what she looks like. Y'all get the first scoop on what it looks like on the wheels and tires once it's sitting on the ground. All new shocks, so it should be sitting all level and everything right. Let's get to it. All right, this is a first look. Obviously the tire is turned because I have the suspension off in the front so I can access the starter. I'm fixing to kick the trans out here in just a second, fix all that, and hopefully get that back together. But yeah, this is about where she's gonna sit. Pretty low. I actually didn't expect it to be quite this low. I'm good with it. Maybe a ½ inch lower in the front, but for now I'm good with it. We can always play with that another time. Definitely can go. The front tire is the perfect size, 215, 7015. The rear, there's definitely plenty of area to go a little bit bigger. Obviously this lip right here would be a concern if I go too crazy, but 225, 235 probably would work. Give it a little rake to it. I don't hate it though. Definitely, these wheels are growing on me. I definitely didn't really think chrome was gonna look good, but the more it's on there, the more I'm digging them. So that's the first look with it back on all 4 tires. We supposed to have the rear brake line that connects the brakes to the front brake line, or to the lines going to the front. I had to find that. The first one I ordered was it was wrong. It did not fit the current brake lines that are still good. So I'm trying to reuse those. Somebody's flying by my road. Anyway, so I sent that back, the correct one, and I verified the fittings are correct now that I was able to get it off and measure it. That should be here Friday. It was supposed to be here Wednesday today, but I guess mail's being behind with a holiday or whatever. So that'll be here Friday. Saturday, I'm hoping to get a lot of work done on it. So we're just gonna keep grinding it out tonight and tomorrow night and keep going. All right, so starter is back in. We are wired in up there. And we also got the flywheel bolts fixed. Back the trans out just enough to get it turned. We're good. One of the nuts is kind of rounded and I don't really want to put it back in there like that. So I'm gonna get a different nut tomorrow. Not sure why my light's freaking out, but it's probably about dead. Anyway, so the trans is back bolted shut. We'll not have to come back out again. Starter's in with wiring in. We need to finalize the trans mount right there, tidy that up, and then run just enough exhaust for this to run. I'm not sure why my light is acting up. Nope. Anyways, run the exhaust. O2 bungs right there, so we need to run it out enough. Got to do something about this gaping hole. Don't worry about the seat hanging through it, but do something about this gaping hole. For now, it's probably just going to get a screw patch. We have the transmission yoke with new U-joint in. The rest of the drive shaft, I'm waiting on the other U-joint. It was wrong, or I guess wrong, I suppose. The other end, this end, I guess wrong. So that end should be in. I'll probably get that tomorrow. And then we should have a drive shaft in. So we are getting closer and closer by the day. I'm waiting on this one hose right there that connects the rear to the front brake lines. I said I was going to possibly do it tonight, but I did not get a chance. I've still got to run the lines for the brake master cylinder up there. Still got to run the lines between the master cylinder and the brake lines and the proportioning valve. All the front suspension and rear suspension and brakes are done except for that. So that's the reason this is sitting kind of crooked, is I needed the space for the starter to go in and also get the trans back out. So we'll bolt that back up and then get those tires and wheels aligned best we can. And that's pretty much going to be it for tonight. I'm going to continue working most every night until I leave. Like I said, this is the priority, get this done. This is what I want. I hate fallbacks, but worst case, this lovely Corvette over here will get nice and cleaned up and we'll be getting the ticket, worst case. I don't want to do it, but if she's not ready and she's not safe, I'm obviously not going to push it too much. I'm definitely going to push it if it runs and drives. We're going to go until it doesn't go anymore, but I also almost forgot that we had this stuff on the window. You can't really see it, but we got to cross off the ground cable. The fuel gauge is also wired up. It should be working. I'll know when I put power to the vehicle, but I crossed it off because it is exactly wired up how I'm going to do it unless something comes up. Trans torque converter is bolted up minus the two nuts. I'm going to take one to verify the correct thread, because I can't find my thread checker anywhere. We got rear brakes. We're just waiting on a rubber line, and then the rear floor is patched. So cross a few more things off the list. All right, it's late. Last day of work tomorrow. Gonna try to get some more done, obviously, this weekend. Got a ton to go still, but trans is completely bolted back in like it's supposed to be. Starter's on. Inspection cover's back on, and we were able to turn this wheel straight. So probably the first look for y'all actually seeing it sitting all the way down with shocks on. So that is where she's gonna sit, which I think the ride height's pretty good. Now that the wheel's straight, it looks pretty good. I maybe a ½ inch lower in the front, or maybe a taller tire out back would help, but I'm kind of happy with where it's sitting. Come around this other side. Yeah, she looks pretty good. So we're still knocking some stuff out. About to call it an evening. We got the master cylinder lines ran to the proportioning valve. We just need to connect the original lines to that proportioning valve, because it's kind of one of those one size fits all kits, and it's not that great. Once again, if I could not use this company, I would have not done it, but they were the only ones that had something in stock at the time. If I could go back, I would definitely have ordered a different kit and waited till later to do brakes. But anyways, it's in, almost done. Still have to shorten these wires. We now have a battery over here with most of the wiring ran to it that we need. The sniper stuff's tucked over here. We're not hooked that up yet until we verify power on the body chassis and everything else. Everything that should be hooked up power-wise into the hood is hooked up. Wiper motor's back in and wired up properly. That is a new one. I misplaced the old one. Don't know what I did with it. Most of these wires will not be used. We'll go through the harness later and clean that all up. For now, most of this stuff can just get tucked in over here out of the way. But yeah, she's definitely getting closer, but still a long ways to go. I will keep y'all posted, but this may be the last update until closer to Power Tour, which is in 2 weeks. But it's just trying to grind it out. So I will have probably less filming done. I'll film, but I probably won't have any videos up for a minute just to try to get this done. So for everybody that hasn't seen along, for right now, obviously motor trans, 302, C4 trans, run the Holly Sniper 2. which is tucked nicely under here with the Hyperspark kit and PDM, which is also tucked nicely back under here where you can't really see it. So that's about it for the evening. Y'all stay tuned for more.